Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So on this ending explain, we'll be doing a really flanker of the latest movie Children of the Corn. I must say they really tried to dive into the back history of the kids and how they came to be, but honestly this movie was bad, very bad. Out of 10 I would definitely give it like a 2, but I just commend them for their creativity and anything that they try to do with the script. And I guess without wasting any time, let's get dive let's get right into it. Children of the Corn 2023. So the movie starts with a girl named Eden who plays along, playing horsey, and then a teenage boy emerges from the wood, gets some sort of gun, and tells her she won't have to cry again. Gets inside the children's home and kills all the adults, but Eden runs into the woods and survives when they gas the place trying to oust the boy and kill every kid in the children's home. She gets adopted by a pastor who actually seems very eager. If you just ask me, that's very eager. And then a girl named Bo is telling his little bro that she's leaving for college. When she sees the crops moving and laments that the chemicals in the crops cause hallucinations. The crops are the cornfields, of course. And then as they're walking by, they see kids violently playing with another kid, saying that the kid should walk off the plank. And Bo and the teenage boy, they just walk off, and just find it disturbing. And then they're playing around this boy's grandmother's car. And then they walk back to town and there's a meeting, and the town has voted on getting government subsidies instead of growing the dying corn. Bo tries to warn them in an amazing monologue, but is denied. The kids also want their rights to vote, but they're very laughed at. And it's really cruel. Like, are you bullying your own kids? Like, I don't get it. And then we know that Eden is actually like an orphan, and that's raised by the pastor. All the kids devise a plan to cuff their parents and get them to a trial of some sorts. But Bo and her brother discover that Eden has other plans, and the plans are basically just like gassing the parents and burying them alive and to feed the cornfields. But Bo manages to tell her dad to run before killing the pastor and telling him that he has sinned. So now we know that Eden is now driven by the fact that the town wants to kill off the crops, and she really likes the cornfield for some reason. And then we dive off to another scene where they just about to sacrifice this woman's life, but Bo tries to save the woman by telling them they should sacrifice her to the cornfields, and they agree. And then Eden calls out and says someone or something should come. And then when nothing happens, Bo tries to hold Eden hostage with a knife. But then something happens. There's a growling in the woods, and when the growling starts getting louder and louder, we see a corn monster thing emerge and take the woman into the cornfields. And yes, we see a glimpse of it, but not it entirely. And then after the incident, now Bo tries to attack, but then she's subdued, and they try to burn her. But she explains the chemicals in these fields, if they burn her, everything goes. But then they just say, instead, let's just chop her off. But then she tries to escape, and she runs off into the cornfields. And then running off, she discovers her father's corpse, meaning that her father didn't make it, while running for his life. And she tries to like survive as much as she can. But the corn monster, I'll call it that, catches up with her and holds her down, and as we think she's about to die, she stabs it in the face, if you call that damn thing a face, really, if you call the damn thing a face. And the monster now almost like walks off and runs off, and probably is trying to heal or whatever the case is. I don't even, why does it need to daze off like that? Because it's not even bleeding. I don't get it. But hey, knife is a knife. And then she gets in the car of that teenage boy that she was walking with to the meeting, and then she drives it, quite a distance. And then as she drives it, it gets stuck in the middle of the road. And then she discovers Eden's in the car. And then while Eden's in the car and they try to whatever negotiate, and she just makes it like an act, like, okay, I'm gonna be submissive, I'm gonna just like submit to you, but first let me light a cigarette. She's lighting a cigarette, and then the cigarette, she ignites a flame. Of course, it's a whole big, plan of hers, because we know the car was leaking because they destroyed the gas tank. So the car was leaking petrol or gas, if you call it, all over. So when she lights it, it lights up the cornfield, and we see this huge explosion, guys. The huge explosion. And then the monster emerges. The monster is burning, and then he's like croaking and crying. Like, apparently knife doesn't do anything. You gotta burn corn for it. Yes, you gotta burn corn, you gotta fry it. So that's what they did here. They fried the corn, and the monster, burns, and Eden follows it into the woods and burns. But the next day, as Bo is checking out, the damages, she finds Eden's ring, and as she is just getting confused, she sees some legs and actually discovers that Eden has morphed into this corn / human thing, and she didn't die, so she's just morphed and fused into this monster, and that's how the movie ends.